snuggle up to you. Like they're the most affectionate cats I've ever had. Like they'll come lay on your chest, and I always sleep with her. Like she's under my arm whenever I go to bed. It's so cute. I love my cat. I love my cat.
I mean, if they feel like ball sacks, we could just grab someone's nuts and fall asleep cuddling that. Save me the $2,000.
Yeah. Do you go to sleep with your like cupping your balls basically?
I used to do that.
Yeah,
When I was a kid, I used to
constantly.
Yeah. When I was a kid, instead of like sucking my thumb or anything, I just really hardly grabbed my nutsack.
Oh man,
I think I actually did.
hurting it.
Oh, it's great. It's so comforting.
No, it wasn't.
I do that.
I'd wake up sore.
I still do that today. I constantly, when I'm going to bed, when I'm just fucking around, I just use my entire hand and just manipulate all of my junk at once. It's a fucking habit for me at this point. Whenever I'm alone, I'm just like, oh, there's time to go.
Am I the freak for not doing this, or what?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
I don't do it anymore.
I'm sorry.
It was just when I was a kid. I was like a fucking freestyle rapper on stage with how much I'd grab my nutsack when I was going to bed.
Like, it was like purely just to grab it. Like, it was nothing like actually like sexual or anything.
No,
Oh, not at all.
No,
constantly
yeah,
squeeze them really hard. Like I was trying to juice them.
I'm doing it right now.
Fucking.
Ew, oh, that's uncomfortable.
No, like I said, when I was a kid, I'd grab them very hard.
Oh, fuck.
Are they okay
That's
now?
a bit different then. I just hold them.
Were
comfort
testicles
like there's
different
no
back then?
permanent
Like, what the
damage, right?
fuck?
Yeah, you comforted yours. I was there to strangle the lunch money out of mine. They're fine now, though. Yeah.
That's good.
Well, you don't know that.
Your growth,
I don't know.
squeezing all the testosterone out of them.
Maybe that's why.
You might not be able to have kids.
Maybe that's why my voice got so deep. I squeezed it all out of my nutsack into my throat.
Try
Try it now, kids. Yeah.
Yeah. You wanna be like critical? Squeeze your balls and go to
Squeeze those
dollarshaveclub.com/official. If they don't pop, then you're pussed out.
Just put them in a clamp for the day.
Wonderful. How much
While
weight
you're
do you
shaving
think you guys' balls would support?
How much weight?
What's that? Did you ever see that weird porn where guys have like weights hanging from their balls and dick?
Yeah.
I always wonder like
pussy
how much
flaps.
could mine support?
Like, all right, how would it be supported? Like with like a little like pincer or like what?
No, they tie like a rope or a little string around their nuts and then they just hang stuff from it. Or
That would really
alternatively,
hurt
they
the
just
testicles. I feel.
hang.
Of course.
They hang themselves from their balls as well, from the ceiling or such.
Yeah, fuck that.
I don't know. Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that. Like, I also don't understand the guys who like stomping porn, you know, or like stomping and stuff. Can't get behind that.
God. Oh, I don't know. They must be freaks who just don't feel anything.
Have to be. Like, what about that the Pain Olympics stuff way back in the day too?
Yeah.
Like,
Was that shoving a glass jar up your asshole?
No,
Well, that was Jordan.
that's different. Apparently, the Pain Olympics, the guy was on some hallucinogen, PCP, I think.
I hope so.
He was literally like not physically present,
Huh.
or mentally. I mean,
The next day, he's like, "What did I do?"
Jeez. God, imagine waking up to that.
Yeah, don't do
Some
PCP
ISIS
shit.
shit.
Yeah, I would advise against it.
I heard
Don't do weed.
that's a gateway to PCP and dick cutting off. I actually heard the Pain Olympics, though, the old one that you're talking about, most of them were fake. They were done by a
Really?
Yeah, they were done by a body mod company. They were all.
I did not know that,
I
actually.
believe it.
Yeah,
I want to believe that. I hope so.
I think the company actually came out to confirm that. I can't remember what the company was, but they did like body mods, which was like, you know, like horns under your forehead and stuff like that. And they did that just as like a little performance piece for the traveling body mod conventions or whatever. And then
God,
somebody,
they look so stupid.
yeah, and then somebody had posted it online as like an actual thing.
How much would you guys need to be paid to get one of those dumb body mods, like horns on your forehead?
Oh, not enough money in the world. Actually, 1 million.
Just a million?
Maybe. If
I
I'm
think you
allowed
could
to
probably
take
get
them
a bit
out
more.
later.
You could take them off. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah.
Why do you
that's
want them
true.
off?
what if they say it has to be permanent?
Well, then I'd go 2 million. Final offer.
Final offer.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I actually asked this question recently. How much money would it cost for someone to offer you, like, just like come up on you randomly, be like, hey, how much money would it take for you to kill somebody that you don't know? Like, how much money would it take for you to actually go through with it? Because everybody's
Can
got
I
a
get
price
away
for
with
things.
it or not?
Yeah, completely random person.
Yeah, completely. You don't have to know them or anything.
Okay, well then there's 100% chance it's a cop. No.
I mean, that's true.
That doesn't just randomly happen. Like, I never sit at Starbucks and then someone walks up to me like, hey, you the guy? Yeah, here's the money.
Alright, what if you had to kill his ex or something like that then?
Okay, let's
That you
make it
don't
like
know.
believable, like it's my
Yeah,
friend
believable.
and he's asking me for this
Yeah,
favor.
yeah.
but
Alright,
I'm
let's do
asking
that.
for
Let's do
money.
that.
Well, okay, so can I get away with it, or is there any other limitations to this?
You have to try to, at least. Like, you can try to, like, hide the body and stuff.
Okay, I don't have to get caught, like it is what
You don't have to get caught, no. No, no.
Okay.
As long as you're
Well,
smart
depends
about
on
it, of course.
depends on his wealth, obviously.
True.
10 million.
What if... 10 million?
Oh, that's a rich friend. Jesus.
Jesus.
That's
10
very
million, I'm
rich
gonna
friend.
be the next Hitler.
I don't want to kill someone.
Good God, 10
Messy
million.
work.
Did
What's
you
the
know, apparently on the dark web, it's only 35K to kill somebody?
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Well,
It's
on
all
the dark
fake
web,
and
That's a
They're
lot of
all
money.
also cops. That's the point with the guy who ran the Silk Road. He tried to hire someone to kill his business partner, and it turned to be a cop.
yeah, still sting operations
So
usually.
you're saying that that person didn't die?
No, no.
Is that actually how the
Didn't they
Silk...
even
is that-
actually set it up? No, the Silk Road, he made a bunch of mistakes, but one of them was trying to hire an assassin online to kill his old, like one of his old admins, I think. Because apparently the Silk Road is, the website used to be passed down from admin to admin, sort of an odd deal, but he tried hiring someone to do a hit
Dynasty.
job, but that turned out to be a cop,
Silk Road was the...
which just led to
that was the arms
It was a
dealing...
drug dealing
No,
website.
arms dealing,
No,
I thought.
everything.
Drugs.
No, I think it was just drugs there initially.
Okay.
I'm not sure if they sold weapons, but yeah, drugs. And he was fucking rich as fuck.
Well, damn.
There's a good documentary about it called what was it called? Deep Web? Yeah, Deep Web, I think. Keanu Reeves is the narrator, actually. Very nice.
Is he?
It's a good documentary. I recommend it. It's Kaya's Things I Like corner.
There we go. We got it in. What was the documentary called?
Deep Web.
Okay.
By Keanu
Check it out.
Reeves. Well, not by him, but he talks.
Do you have anything you want to shout out, Cry? Any projects you got coming up, or if you just want to shout out your shit, by all means?
Yeah, check me out over at youtube.com/penguin00. Definitely putting out that content. And, yeah, thanks for having me on.
We discontinued that URL, didn't we? Isn't it like dollarshaveclub.com now?
Oh, yeah. I think that's actually going to be the new one next week, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
slash official.
dollarshaveclub.com/official. So go there to see Penguin Zero content.
That's some good shit.
That was really sweet.
A new
Yeah,
Razor
that was
video
sweet.
every day.
Oh, alright.
Alright, well, thank you for being here, Cry.
Yeah, thanks for coming on,
Yeah, no
Cry. Really
problem.
appreciate it.
I love you, Cry.
I love you guys too. You lovable bastards.
Oh,
Wow.
wow. It's like,
Remember to
Aw.
keep spreading the good word about us. Don't stop.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
guys got my PayPal, right?
Yeah, we'll wire the money.
I appreciate it.
No, for real. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for joining us for an hour. It was fun.
Absolutely not a
Yeah.
problem. It was, yeah, you guys too. It was nice.
Alright, thanks for watching this episode of the official podcast. If you'd like to keep up with us, you can check out the links in the description. We've got a lot of nice places that you can go to throw money at. That's
The new
helpful.
shirt.
Yeah, new shirt. We've got the Boardwalk Burger shirt out. Link will be in the description for that one. So check it out, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Hey guys, welcome to this episode of the official podcast. I'm Jackson. Over there's Andrew. In the basement is Charlie. And over there is also Kaya. But this week we've got special guest Cryotic with us. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the official podcast. I'm your host, Jackson. We've also got Andrew. Charlie's here somewhere. Kaya's also here. And this week, exclusively on the official podcast, nowhere else on the internet, we've got Mr. Sark. Mr. Sark, please introduce yourself.
I'm Mr. Sark. I have no idea what I'm doing here, but I'm hyped to find out. You may also know me, your listeners may also know me as Mr. Sack, Shrek, Stark is common, Sock, Shark is a big one. So just put Mr. in front of any of those and
Any misnomer of Sark and you've got it claimed, right?
Yeah. Sack is my favorite. Mr. Sack.
Sack's pretty good.
I'm glad that wasn't taken.
All right, so Mr. Damn it, Charlie.
No, we're gonna like how you and I always battle for the first question.
I'm gonna take it because you had the first question last time.
Yeah, go for
All right,
it.
Mr. Sack, I want to cut all the bullshit here. I want to get straight to the meat of the issue. It says here on your one of your 600 different Wikia pages that you are afraid of Jamaicans because they're scary.
I have written down to ask you guys what it says on that bullshit site, what it says for you. I just read through that and tweeted about it, and I think it's actually got more insane since I mentioned it, but what happens is, with that, is they take, the humanity takes everything, no matter how sarcasm-laden, and it turns it into an encyclopedia entry. So I don't even remember. It totally sounds like a joke I would have made that I don't like Jamaicans because they're scary, because I would have probably said something like they do voodoo, even though that's not even fucking Jamaica. But
It was a joke.
Well,
Yeah.
It sounds like it was a joke, like, founded in truth, almost. You still gotta repress.
yeah. That
those
kind
are
of
the best jokes, though.
What you're really saying is you're a white supremacist.
You heard it here first.
I think
Mr.
it
Sark
gets
confirmed for white supremacist.
Hold on, I'm
Let's
looking
move
at
on.
my fan page right now.
Just lost because
Well, that kind of throws a wrench in my follow-up question, which was, what do you think is the scariest thing about Jamaicans?
Well, he gets
Oh
the answer.
yeah. They can easily hide throwable sharp objects in their dreads.
that's not wrong.
It's not at all.
Thank you.
That is accurate.
Oh, dude. Welcome to having your guys' wiki pages all jacked up now, because you're on board with it.
Joke's on you, I don't have a wiki page.
Yeah, welcome to the no Wikia page zone. Fucking Big Shot over here flexing. Wait till your Wikia pages get hit.
Listen to the Know Your Meme page talking.
Oh, fuck.
Oh,
throwing
Charlie,
down.
you're a meme?
Oh.
Did you know that?
Yikes. I didn't know that. That's yucky.
How does that feel, Charlie?
That doesn't feel good.
At some point, I was trying to get to your YouTube channel, and I was typing your name into the search bar like a fucking 9,000-year-old person, and one of the top results is a Know Your Meme page. I haven't checked it out though. I bet it's juicy.
He's
Well,
lying. He's the top contributor.
Yeah,
He goes there every day.
Edited by Mr. Shrek. I just to do some to let you guys know, I did a little bit of homework. My podcast listening went way down once I didn't work at Machinima anymore, so I didn't have a commute, right? Because it was the commute was podcast time. So podcast listening now is done in 20-minute chunks as I pour canned soup into my face during editing breaks. And so I feel like I've listening to you guys and doing homework for this feels like the scenes in the movie where the dude's been drugged or knocked out and he's on the stretcher being rolled through the bad hallway, and he keeps coming up for a sec. He regains consciousness and then he fades. And he regains. So I've listened to little snippets of about 20 of your episodes, and it's
Good lord.
Damn.
yeah, it's
Which
like
one's the
a
most
peek
recent?
into madness. And then 5 minutes before we start, Critical drops the bomb on. I'm gonna Critical? Can I just call you Critical?
You can call me my real name. You
No?
can call me Charlie.
You can call me critical.
I'll call you Charlie. Right before this, he drops the bomb. He's like, if you really want to know how, like he Skype messaged me. He's like, if you really want to know how this shit rolls, check out Pewds jerking off a cat sequence. I'm like, okay, well, gee, I'm on it. Well,
In my defense, I told him that we were approaching game time. He said he was stretching in the locker room and he was watching the answerings video we made, and I said if he's trying to get a feel for what to expect, to watch that one, because we really dove into the hard-hitting topics right away.
If that didn't scare you off, I mean, usually we don't hear back.
Yeah, once we send that bomb out there.
no, I think it's cool that like you get the like the guests that you've had. You have you've got a solid lineup, even though you guys are self-deprecating about it. It shows that there's like a lot of people watching you guys on the tubes. So I think it's cool.
Yeah, we do all right, you know.
Sweet.
We try
Wait
to
till
be
next
cool.
week. We've scheduled 4 big A-list celebrities. If you're watching this, the captain, please message me back.
I thought you were gonna say only use me, Blade. Like,
Oh my god, that's a name I've not heard in a long time.
Mr. Sark's dwelling up the old internet now.
Oh my god.
Holy lord.
If I remember correctly, I saw like a Twitch clip of him a couple weeks ago where he got extremely drunk and some anime music played and he fell out of his chair and hurt himself. That poor man has fallen on the hardest of times.
But you're welcome to come on the podcast if you're listening. Only use
yeah,
the blade.
I've met him several times. He's a nice dude, but alcohol does some crazy things to you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
From what I've seen there, yikes.
Yeah, that's after his ban for finger banging his asshole on his stream.
Really?
And he rose from the ashes like a fucking phoenix after that. How many people can come back from that?
So you
would've felt that.
you nailed down the specific type of masturbation on stream. You had to let us know that it was that.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Holy
everyone
shit.
who watched pretty much had it narrowed down for them.
Was it asshole cam?
Yeah, it was.
Anything's
was
an
it a
asshole
stretch
cam
goal?
if you
Was it-
like bend over far enough.
Wait, so he was doing it right into the camera?
Yeah, it was like a donation challenge, you know. I'm forgiving
Oh,
of this
okay,
guy.
that's
I'm like,
respectable then.
I get it. Yeah.
$20 I'll do a speed run of Mario, and $50 I'll finger bang my asshole. It's
When
logical
was this?
progression.
Was this like in the wild west of Twitch in the before times when they didn't ban you for smoking?
No. This is like I don't remember exactly, but I would say a year ago.
Huh.
Oh, that's recent.
Yeah.
That is pretty
Surprised he wasn't executed by Twitch's assassins.
Well, he got banned, but he came back.
Were Twitch clips integrated before then? Because we might have a spicy clip or two we can put on the
I
front
don't
page
think
now.
so. I don't think so. I'm sure it's on YouTube or something. But the response to this, by the way, reminds me. Let me just do a callback to my homework I just did during your guys' Ask Us Questions episode. You were asking each other one of the questions was, "What's your favorite of your episodes?" And Charlie says he likes the Pewds jerking off a cat, but which I thought was like funny, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to check that out. But then Kaya came in with, it's nice to know that he's human. That's Kaya's response to finding out somebody cranked a cat. It's like, oh, thank God, they're just one of us. They're normal.
Well, that leads into my next question really well, Mr. Sark. What's the weirdest thing you've ever jerked off? I like that you have to think about it.
Yeah. Well,
He's
the
not
first.
human.
Usually that question is where, but what? I don't know.
Okay, we'll broaden it. The best masturbation story you have, please enlighten us.
The most fucked up.
I was desperately trying to suck my own, as I'm sure many of us have at some point.
Oh,
Like lost brothers.
match made in heaven.
And I was furiously like trying to. I looked like a sped up footage of somebody trying to jack up their car when it got a flat, like just cranking this in hopes that somehow it would like I'd gain inches from somewhere. I don't know like what the reasoning was, but I finished in like basically mid effort and blasted myself right in the eye and was
Right on
like
that.
fucking disgusted by I was like, oh, like screaming, and I'm in the bathroom like doing like a rinse, and my eye turned red like some shit out of Resident Evil, which I was fucking unexpected. I didn't know that was like a side effect of it. And so then I was wearing sunglasses in the house, and my wife is like, "What are you doing?" And it's like,
Oh, wow.
You were married when you
were like
tried
12.
this?
oh yeah.
Wow.
Well, that was the most recent attempt. There's been a few over the years to see if
There's a
maybe
chronology?
things have limbered out. Yeah.
There's sagas of this?
I think that was the final chapter, I'm gonna say, because
Well, let's leave it open.
Your wife's in the other room, and you were like, "Ah, no, I don't want to bother her. I'll
Yeah,
just do it
no.
myself."
and she to this day doesn't know why I was wearing sunglasses or why my right eye turned into fucking zombie face. But there it is. Now it's out there.
Well, now she will.
Now it's
Now that's how you
official.
do a plot twist right there. You lead us in under this pretense that you were a young boy, and then it comes out. It was just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
That was
not
beautiful.
long ago.
I really appreciate the honesty, though. Andrew just pretends like he dinges in his own mouth.
I mean, it happened. Andrew has successfully sucked himself off. He used the ancient wall climbing technique.
What?
Yeah. For a boy who does his homework,
Don't tell me. Don't tell me a new technique. Don't put me back on the fucking. Don't put me back in, coach.
This is as old as time itself. For someone who seems to do his homework, I don't think you listened to our earlier episodes because we had like a whole half hour that discussion.
All right. Yeah, we'll see.
Do you even know
I'll go
about the
back and listen
poster?
to it. Your poster?
Yeah.
No. Is it your burger? Your burgers? Or burgers?
Oh, he's on to
He knows
something.
about the Vegas.
Am I close?
He's
One for
playing
two.
Guess Who.
No.
Does this meme have burgers? No.
Well, speaking of burgers,
He's already familiar with it. It's gonna lose its effect.
Well, no, still tell it.
irrelevant.
No, still gotta tell
No,
it.
well, he's read Know Your Meme. He might know the whole thing. No, the joke is best
Switch it up.
best laid for the unexpected opponent. I think it's better if we try and enlighten him. Now, he may have fallen off the wagon with sucking his dick off, but if Andrew could tell him the technique, maybe he can achieve his boyhood dreams.
Nice reflection there.
Yeah, give me the bullet point, like the airline safety card version.
I mean, the only thing is, so what was, were you going for the old classic scooping over, where you just like sit on the edge of your bed and try to tuck your knees into your face?
Yep, the letter C.
All right,
just-
you're doing the poor man's technique, because if you're poor and have a tiny dick, it's never gonna work. The only
certainly
way that
didn't.
you ever, the only way that you ever achieve true results, if you're a normal human,
Present.
is
Get
you want to lay on your back and flip your legs onto a wall and walk down.
Lay on my back,
Yeah, I'm glad you're writing this down.
flip my leg. I'm just picturing it. Okay.
Dictating it.
Okay.
That
Okay, I
is the
see that.
successful technique. That is what actually works.
Wait, but if you walk down the wall, wouldn't you be flat? Wouldn't you be lying flat on the ground?
No. Okay, you put your head against the wall or a little distance, depending on your height, and then you
Oh,
flip
right.
your legs
Head again-
over
okay, got it.
yourself and walk.
Yeah.
You want to basically walk the load into your own tuchus or mouth or whatever.
That's a whole other stretch you're describing there.
Oh man,
You need a real small room if you're going to be
I
walking
messed
down
up my
that wall.
Jewish slang.
All right. Shit, I might be back in action. I might be back on the fucking leaderboards in a little while.
I can send you some
Went
reading
down with your
material.
other eye.
Yeah, I need to do some yoga first, though. That
Oh,
sounds
yeah.
like I'll end up a paraplegic if
I mean, to not dive back into the whole entire story, I accomplished this when I was around I think 13 or
Okay.
12.
Your wife finds you in the bathroom with a snap neck, wearing sunglasses.
Yeah.
Sunglasses from previous failed attempts.
Yeah. She's used to like all kinds of wacky shit happening around here. So
That transcends the wacky.
So that's normal
She
Tuesday.
never told you it stings like a motherfucker if you get it in your eye.
No. I just thought it was like
That's no friend.
no. I just I
That's actually
gained a new
surprising because
respect.
when you do make that mistake, you never hear the goddamn end of it. Let me tell you. I'm surprised she had that restraint not to bitch at you for half.
Yeah, no, I was like, no, it's no problem. But it is a problem, and I hated it. So doesn't mean I'm not gonna do some wall climbing though.
Make sure your harness is intact. Your
Keep us
belayer.
updated.
Yeah, your belayer needs to be set and prepped. Make sure your counterweights are tied on right.
Your lifting belt.
Be sure to stretch beforehand and hydrate between sessions.
Yeah.
She comes in, it just looks like a weird bondage, like bungee cord puzzle.
Honey, I'm so glad you're here. Pull that lever.
then leave. Shut the door behind you.
And pretend you never came in. I'm
Shoot,
smiling.
this is
Coyote
this
contraption.
is just a Spider-Man
Yeah, one of
skit.
those Rube Goldberg things.
Instead of the Roadrunner, he's trying to catch his own dick.
The Rube Goldberg machine, and instead of
Yeah.
making him breakfast, it puts his dick in his mouth.
God, this is the last official podcast.
We're not toughing this.
And we're almost
20 minutes of self-dick sucking. This is this is some quality shit. I love it.
We're already like a quarter way through, and that's just a breeze. I don't know how they do it. I
Yeah.
know how fucking Joe Rogan does it. I watched an episode of his recently. He had on two guys who I don't really listen to. I don't really know who they were, like Jordan Peterson and some other guy. But what I did notice is he basically just sicked them on one another. Not in a bad way. They just had a conversation. But over the course of 3 hours, this is live streamed, by the way, Joe maybe said like 15 words. And he just let them talk, and that's a brilliant formula. We need to do this. We need to invite 2 guests and then just silently sit there and make money.
What a great idea.
I mean, you say that, but he's making millions off the idea.
I mean, but he gets like the upper tier celebrities to come on, so people tune in to
Oh,
get some spicy
Jesus
dirt.
Christ, I mean, yeah, he had like 2 brainiacs on that were just talking
Yeah.
important political shit. But you know, I mean, I don't know.
And
You
he
could
can
get someone-
carry if he needs to. Like, he's a good host.
can, yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
Oh no, I'm not trying to shit on
There-
him. I'm
yeah,
just
yeah,
saying in that
There's no
specific
doubt in
episode,
his actual ability in
Absolutely.
do what he does.
He just got a good strategy.
I wasn't sorry. I wasn't trying to imply like he got lucky or something, or he was he found a con. But in that
no,
one
no.
episode, he
I'm
just-
forgiving of the con
I
as
was
long
so
as the
jealous.
host can like has the skills to pull it off. But when you run across the people that's like the whole bit, then it's like, why are you even on?
Yeah,
You
no,
seem a
he-
little extraneous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like his podcast.
So do
Yeah,
I.
it's
I like
very
Shows
interesting.
most of iTunes.
The 20 minute soup bits that I listen to are enjoyable.
I could actually. Andrew, I was gonna send you this. Like, you know how the good old God doesn't exist circle jerk. So the guy Jordan had on, Joe had on was the guy called Jordan Peterson. Sorry, and while I don't listen to his stuff, I know he's like apparently a really good guy, a clever guy. But his fan following, like most of them, they're just such a culty circle jerk. And I went onto their subreddit, and one of the threads there was anime recommendations for Peter Jordanson fans, or whatever his name was. It was one of the most Reddit threads I've ever read, and the best part was that in their sidebar they had an IQ test. Really?
Are you worthy of this subreddit?
Really? Someone pointed this out, and they could not fathom why that was funny.
Sorry, no sub 120s on this subreddit allowed.
That should be like a category on Netflix. It should get that specific.
So it's
If you enjoy
instead of
Jordan Peterson, you might like. Troll.
I thought you were talking about IQ
yeah,
test.
if your IQ's over
educated.
if your IQ's
I'm
over
gonna-
130, you might enjoy
That-
this.
I'm gonna get shit just for getting his name wrong once or twice. His fan following is so rabid. He makes over 50,000 on Patreon a month.
Damn.
Good lord.
Like they worship this guy. And like I said, nothing against him personally. He seems like a nice guy. He uses the word postmodernism about 5 times per sentence. But damn, that fan following. Like I wish I had that cult, man.
I mean, you could. For instance, Only Use Me Blade for $50. I have a picture of him fingering his asshole. I just remembered when you brought up Patreon. This is disturbing.
I don't know. man.
2015.
I don't feel like I'm ever gonna see the threads that go like anime recommendations for Kaya's fans with an IQ test. I don't see that happening.
That thread's just a trap to weed out people who like you and anime so they can kick them out of the fandom.
Well, that would leave no one.
Only a postmodernist could have cracked that code.
That thread was on fire, analyzing why Hunter x Hunter was somehow this postmodern utopic dream that Jordan Peterson himself would have loved. This was like their bragging point. Is yeah, this anime he would have loved this. Yeah, because this rich brainiac professor would sit down and watch anime.
Can you imagine the brilliance though? If that was a trap?
Ooh, that'd be really
Andrew was
smart.
right.
Yeah.
Maybe
Oh, you should
maybe
do that on
Jorgen
our subreddit.
maybe Jorgen himself put that up there to like get out all the
Jorgen.
fans. I don't know what his name is.
He's Scandinavian brother.
I don't know. I thought you said Jorgen.
His Klingon brother. Jorgen Khan.
So Jordan and Jorgen, they put that up there so they could weed out their anime fans and blacklist them from their conventions.
Yeah. Jorgen Peterson is sick of getting messages. He's an ice fisherman. He's sick of getting all the Jordan Peterson.
Who is Jordan?
God, I want to be just rich like Joe.
I want to be Jordan Peterson.
Joe, if you're watching this, you're welcome to come on the podcast.
Send us money.
Open invitation. I'd like to segue into an actual question I've been curious about. So, Mr. Stark, Jesus, I didn't mean to call you
Stark,
I'm
there
sorry.
it is.
Sorry.
Immediately fucked that up.
We're not getting any names wrong here.
God.
The official. Whatever.
Edit that out. Make sure I get it perfect. I was gonna ask though. Your
He
time
said
at
Stark.
Machinima.
He said Stark.
We were all there.
Yep.
I'll play it on repeat.
Thank you.
Exposed. Well, your time on Machinima Respawn. So Machinima's kind of become synonymous with like dog anus.
Oh,
Was your experience with Machinima like an overall positive experience? Do you have mixed feelings about it? Like, do you have anything to?
Yeah, no,
Didn't
it's
like mess
yeah, so like Machinima Respawn, that era was like the end, started right at the end of 2009. So I went over there before then I was working on X-Play, which was like a video game.
I was
I
going
don't know
to
if
ask
you
you
guys
about
remember
that.
that. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I grew up watching that show.
Yeah. It's funny. It's sort of like Dr. Disrespect. How he existed several years ago and was despised, and now it's like he's the toast of
Really?
Twitch, right?
Yep, I remember that. He used to be on Machinima Respawn doing these like pretty high production little gameplay things.
Yeah.
And then he stopped doing that for a while because I think he got like a position with Infinity Ward designing maps or
Yeah,
some
he
shit
was
like
a map
that.
Yeah,
designer.
it's
Did he
Sledgehammer.
always have the role playing, like the get up?
Yeah, he always did the same character, same bits. Honestly, they were even more intense then. The people that enjoy him now would love his old shit because he took it even more serious. But you can't keep up an act like that doing
Keep
like
up with the kids.
like a daily live stream or whatever. But
I
they
like that.
they hated him because they took it literal. And then and now he's big, and that's the parallel I was making was X-Play now. When you go back and watch X-Play, it's kind of campy and fun, but at the time, people just fucking hated it.
Yep.
And I see both sides, but
I
yeah,
think
after
what
X-Play.
Dr.
Oh, go ahead.
No, sorry, I wasn't trying to cut you off. Please.
Oh, okay. So anyway, to get to the question, after X-Play in 2009, Machinima was doing they were still doing like Red versus Blue and stuff like that, and gameplay commentary had started to sort of get going. I know Charlie remembers this because you were doing like montage and stuff even before that. But then like Blame Truth, Hutch, all these guys started doing commentary, and those videos started to get crazy views at the time. And Machinima wanted to spam the videos basically, but not mix it with their animation and stuff. So then they started Machinima Respawn, and they brought me in on the production side of things. So Machinima's hard to describe because there was so many moving parts, and it was this combination of like people really trying to do something cool, and then like management not really understanding what the fuck was going on, and like for years and years. And then as it went, like a lot of neglect. So a lot of like the evil that Machinima is like really known for, like the contracts and everything. The reality, at least as far as I could tell, was less evil than most people think, and more like a disgusting absent-mindedness. Like when they made the contracts, I don't think there was like an evil hand-wringing. I just think it was like really fucking basic contracts. And then there was never an evolution as times demanded change. And so then you cut to 3 years later, and this like, immovable statue of Machinima over time. It used to be revered, but shit changes, and now people look at this statue and they're like, it's fucking. He is a slave owner. Take him down, or whatever. They wanted to like rip that. They hated it. And with good reason, but it was like, my whole thing with Machinima was, I had like a great time there, but it was also a lot of headbutting against management that just didn't have a clue. Like an example is, we were in a meeting one time, and they were, the line I remember from the meeting was, I asked him, I was like, do we really want to, like, because at the time we were uploading to Respawn 35 videos a day. And I was like, I would rather, I was trying to pitch to them, like, let's reel that, like, dial that way back. Let's do, like, 10. But pick, like, select the good ones. And the management guy told me, he's like, I'd rather have 10 videos that do 10,000 views each than one video that does 100,000. And I was like, my mind was blown. I was like, I don't really speak your language at all, I think. I don't understand that. So it was like
That's
this.
why we do it smarter. We don't have managements. No one knows what's going on at any given time. That kind of keeps it all running.
Well, that's like what it happened to me. Eventually, I bailed and just do YouTube on my own. And there's
How
like
did that
been
go?
good
How did the
years.
bailing process go?
Initially, it was like financial free fall, like jump starting. And I owe a lot to like all the people who I'd kind of helped out in small ways during the Machinima days. They kind of rallied, so a lot of the like lifelong friends that I have, and who like I still play games with, the Childs, the Cnanners, the Hutches, all these guys. They
So
like
you raised the banners. You went to war against Machinima.
no, I was not allowed to. I was legally not allowed to.
Against
Yeah.
his contract, Jackson.
I just had to disappear and not say anything shady about Machinima for a while. Yeah.
Basically
Wow.
went into witness protection. Jesus. I mean, they sound plenty evil to me.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know if it's just disgusting incompetence. It does seem like some super villainy shit here.
Yeah. It's this weird stew. There's definitely some like real misguided shit in there, and then there's also like just not understand. Here's another example. We did way back in the day on Ustream. We did a max prestige stream for Black Ops 1, right? And at the time, like now that sounds like we're going to stream every day, all like 24 hours a day until we get max prestige. At the time, now that sounds like whatever, and there's people that do it, several groups that do it. But at the time, that was like, even a 24-hour stream was kind of bananas. But we ended up streaming every day, all day, for nearly a month. And at the time, I remember I pitched it, I was like, I want to do this. They're like, no one's going to watch. No one gives a shit. It sounds incredibly boring. And I'm like, no, people will love this. It's like a kind of a voyeuristic peek into, whether you're awake in America at 3 a.m. and you want to see what's going on during the run at Machinima, or if that's like your lunch break in Europe. Like, people would love to like get that look in there. They were like, well, we'll give you a week, and and then we'll shut you down. But after 3 days of this this grind, and we're like exhausted, and there's not enough people to care, so we're like pulling these long shifts and then having to double back and do graveyard runs and all this. We started getting out like the management started getting hit up. They're like, hey, Sark, Red Bull hit us up. They want to they really think this is cool. They want to they're gonna send us a bunch of stuff. Just put it in the back, you don't have to mention it. I'm like, okay. So, and within a week it was like sponsored out the ass, and they were making money somewhere. We weren't making money, but somewhere it was like cha-ching. So it was like that's the kind of the struggle where it was like, it wasn't evil, although that happens here and there, definitely. But it was also just like this wild misunderstanding of what people would be into watching.
You sound like a battered wife. Just a bunch of misunderstandings, a bunch of he loves me's. He didn't really mean it.
Syndrome.
You loved me.
It's because I have so many good memories of my Machinima time.
So do the women.
Yeah.
So, what was? There's got to be something evil, something juicy you can throw us. Only it's something evil.
Andrew used to be held hostage
What do
by
you mean
Machinima.
something? I mean, so far from people, we've heard everything short of
yeah.
child sacrifice.
So that stuff, I'm not too familiar with a lot of. That was where I would say a lot of the darker shit happened on the the partnership side, and I didn't have much to do with it because it was all we were tasked to do was try and make Respawn cool, despite the fact that at every step they were trying to make it suck massive balls. At one point, they asked me that they said, "Dude, we've got a huge ad campaign from Vagisil." Fucking Vagisil. And they wanted me to somehow work that into a Call of Duty strat talk. Like, shout out to our friends with scabs on their cooters.
Call of Duty and Vagisil, it goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
Cereal and milk. Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know. It just ended up being for me really banging my head on a wall as far as creatively. And right at the end, I fought tooth and nail for a year to start our own channel called Machinima Team Respawn, which I hated that name. I just wanted to be called Team Respawn, but they had to stick Machinima in front of everything, and we just didn't have enough time to I think it could have been interesting because we were just
Yeah, no.
we were basically treating it like it was our personal channel, right? And I was like, this could be dope. And sure enough.
I'm sorry, just in the last 10 minutes, you haven't said anything that could be taken as incompetence and just evil. I've not heard a single, and then, whatever, Peter, he fucked up, he misnamed this file, and then that's why the contracts were so shitty. No, it's always just they wanted to fuck people over, they wanted to do it badly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the deal was with the contract shit. That's where all that fucking... I would talk to some of the people in that department, specifically the people that had to make the calls and send those emails oh, I'm gonna have to get back to probably the people that you had to go back and forth with, Andrew. And,
yeah, that was interesting.
They're like marionettes underneath some dark lord.
Satan's controlling them.
Yeah. It's fun now to go look at Machinima and be like, what the fuck is happening here now?
I just did that, yeah.
Are they not dead?
Yeah, what the fuck is happening there now?
They're doing kind of like what IGN does.
Right.
Well, not really. Actually, nothing like what IGN does. I don't. It looks like a Minecraft YouTuber's personal channel. They do 2 uploads a week, and it's just clickbaity shit.
I know what you're talking about. There's little news bites with
literally-
gaming news hosts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I literally just went to machinima.com and they have a roll of videos in the background of their content, but the very first video, the very first one, is some dude bungee jumping off a bridge. I'm just wondering what this has to do with video games or Machinima or anything.
That Red Bull sponsorship,
Have you guys,
It's actually Vagisil.
Yeah, that was Vagisil's bungee jump. Jump into a cleaner vagina. Use Vagisil.
It's
the
not
bungee
a
rope
stretch.
represents the tampon.
Yeah, they chuck a dude in a tampon, like an NBA mascot tampon suit off a bridge. Good enough.
That's what we do, Vagisil, I'm just saying. Come sponsor us.
Yeah, Vagisil, if you need a new ad campaign.
If you're listening, come on the podcast and defend your vagina.
I remember I
Mr.
got
Vagisil.
strapped to the head of another one. They were like, do you remember when Call of Duty, Activision started, it was, I think it was called COD Elite. It was like their website.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
I do
yeah.
remember that,
Call
yeah.
of Duty Elite.
Yeah, so they
It
started
was a
that.
subscription thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was like
Yeah.
$25 a month or a year or something. It was not worth it at all. It was
No, all it was
Oh.
was they were aping at what at the time was what Bungie.net did for Halo. So you could get all your stats, everything there, but you could also get replays, and it was just a real in-depth stat site. That's really all it was. They were trying to do what Bungie did for Halo, but that's all it is. So then they hit up our group, and so what happens is Machinima's divided into all these groups. So we were production, there's programming, and there's marketing and whatever, and we were the tip of the spear on Respawn for all this stuff because they were just like, those dudes are crazy. Anything will fit in with what they do, so everything would come our way. And somewhere, I would like to see at some point what the communication was like, because like Vagisil would call marketing, and marketing would talk to somebody above us, and nowhere along there would any red flags be waved. It would just be like through the pneumatic tube, like right to us. And they did this with COD Elite, where they were like, we want 7 episodes showing, like it's a promotion, but it's showing how you use the site. And I'm like, that's an hour of content, and you can just go to the site, and it's like saying like how to use Wikipedia. It's like you type in what you want, and it fucking appears. But they wanted 7 episodes.
Yeah, then you might need a tutorial.
So then it was like, yeah, this is what's their pitch. We'll put an army helmet on you, and then you can be Sergeant Sark, and you can tell everyone what's up. And I was like, I told Hutch.
So topical.
Yeah, I told Hutch and Nanners, I'm like, stay away from this, you guys. You still have audiences that respect you. I'll take this. And so I just did these like solo, and I shot them all at once. And I'm sure they're still on there somewhere, but you can just look into my eyes, and if you look close, you can see me envisioning myself jumping off of a short like stool and then hanging until I can't, like from a ceiling fan, just
I love
Dude,
that.
that's so heroic of Sergeant Stark.
yeah,
Stark. It was Stark, wasn't it? Sergeant Stark.
that's right. Yep.
Either
Or
way,
Mrs.
Sergeant
Ark.
Shark.
You could do Mrs. Ark. I've gotten that one, which I think is really literate.
I love that idea from management. Oh, okay, so they won't like it. Put an army hat on them.
Yeah.
Kids love army hats.
They won't even be able to tell.
Mr. Sark is too old school. We need Sergeant Sark to toughen this shit up.
Oh, it's fucking terrible.
Today they'd give you a fidget spinner.
Yeah.
No, they absolutely would. You make a joke, but no, that is absolutely what they would do.
Yeah, yeah. They would do whole ads dedicated to a Chinese fidget spinner knockoff brand called like Spinsy Doodle or something, and they'd be like, do 3 episodes showing how to use the Spinsy Doodle, and wear one of those fucking propeller hats. You're gonna be good.
If you're struggling for material, put the Harmy helmet back on.
Propeller hats need to make a comeback. Oh, they do. They're so beautiful.
Little beanies for kids. I love those.
Yeah, it's an old school cartoon reference right there. It's beautiful.
So great. So, Mr. Sark, I wanna kind of backpedal a little bit and talk about X-Play and G4 because I grew up as a rabid fan of that fucking show. Being the little baby boy that I was, I loved that every single day after school. But from what I've heard and what I've read, and I could be totally wrong, but there was a lot of kind of dystopia and unrest and a lot of petty bullshit behind the scenes at G4. I was wondering if you had any comments on that or any interesting stories you could tell us.
A lot of it, well, yeah, I mean, a lot of that also happened on a corporate level. So it was like in show, not so much. I guess like the usual like beefs that people would have when they just work together every day. But the real like shit show happened. It was just the same as Machinima. Like G4, the network, was a disaster. They're like run by like some coke fiends, and they're like, I just fucking have millions. Like start a gaming chic channel or whatever. They're like, that's why Attack of the Show and X-Play never got canceled. But they always tried like to do new shows. So it was like, do you remember?
Oh, I remember
Hurl?
Cops.
Do you remember Hurl?
Oh yeah, where they had to eat like mac and cheese and sushi and then get on amusement park rides. I remember that.
Yeah, so that was it. It's an eating contest followed by something that's designed to make you throw up. But the throw up was censored. So I was like, who the fuck is going to watch this? You're making, like, most of the people don't want to watch a vomit show. And the small number of people that you think, like, you hope will watch, you're censoring the puke. You've designed a show for 0 people. And when it came out, the rating for the show was a 0, which means like less than 1,000 people in the country like watched this thing. It was like the most colossal failure I've ever heard of on any like cable or network show. Like
Does it
nobody
help if I
watched
watched it? because I remember it.
Well,
No,
you should get like a real life achievement or
think,
something.
well, yeah, I think there was an episode. I think that the announcers tried to play it like as two parallel worlds colliding. Like I remember one episode, everyone had to eat mac and cheese, and they were like, "Look at that gourmet mac and cheese! 5 different cheese blends in there, all that filling, delicious pasta." And like they hype
there
up
we
the
go.
food.
It's a show
But
for foodies.
Yeah, but no, after they hype up the food, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna put them on the tilt-a-whirl. I can't wait to see that cheese flying through the air with their mucousy gunk membranes." And like, and
never
they
mind.
instantly ruined everything.
It's
they
a show
set up.
for nobody. Do you remember X-Arm?
X-Arms?
Again, some like, I think he must have been Russian mafia or something, but he tried to make arm wrestling where you're tied to the post and then you can punch each
I don't
other.
remember that.
Zarm! I love Zarm.
Yeah. That fucking went away real
That one I
quick.
do not remember.
Because it
Zarm
always
was the
just ended
coolest
with
shit.
somebody, there was never any cool striking. I mean, they very rarely, and they put all of it into the teasers for the show, but then it always ended with just somebody holding on with all their weight, lifting their feet up, so their big, like, blubbery, like, bar fighting body is just pulling his arm down, and they win through this, like, stupid arm wrestling pin, while the other dude's awkwardly, like, hammer fisting their face, but ineffectively, and that was it the whole time. But the trailer was like, these dudes are gonna murder each other. And it was like, no, they're just gonna, like, flop around like fatties.
If you haven't seen X-Arm, I encourage you to watch some highlights. Mr. Zark is doing it a great injustice with this description. It's fucking fantastic.
So I guess it could fall under so bad it's good, but that was not how it was marketed. They were marketing it like, step aside, UFC. It's like, oh my god.
It had potential. If you got some real Zarmers in there, I think it could have taken off.
Yeah. If they're offhand, if each of them had a cast iron pan, now we're fucking talking.
Bring weapons into the equation.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Or
Well,
the post slowly raises until they're both hanging there like they've been hung out to like just meat to dry, and they're swinging and batting at each other in the sea, like some little twist, but
Yeah, some very dangerous
In other words,
ridiculous twist.
make a good TV show instead of that.
right, yeah. Or it
I think
spins.
I think it's great.
So then they just end up spinning like a fat human helicopter, and whoever's rope breaks first loses. Fucking X-Arm. That was most of the strife at G4 was like that stuff. It was like, what the fuck? And then what's funny is Comcast, the parent company, with actual like real ballers at the top. They're like some East Coast family, I don't know, but it's like they would talk about them like waking up and G4 had to look beyond point or whatever. And every now and then it was like the Comcast Eye of Sauron would be like, ooh, and pan past us, and we'd be like, fuck, everybody do your best shit or whatever. And it was like, you got to impress the Mr. and Mrs. Comcast, or they're going to axe the entire channel. So they eventually did. And then it sort of like limped back. I don't know what G4 is. G4 back now in some like.
I know Attack of the Show is now a Twitch stream.
You're kidding me.
The whole
didn't
show
know
is
that.
now they have like 2 new hosts and they do it as a Twitch stream. I don't know if they're still calling it Attack of the Show, but I know the whole format and everything is there as a stream.
Yeah, if it's not Kevin Pereira, I always thought he was a good host for that show, and he carried it pretty well, but he also like handled all the arm candy that they would put as his co-hosts. You know, Olivia Munn was like there for ages, but when she left, it became like Playboy bunnies, and I thought Pereira like carried it all right. He's not in it. Fuck it.
So what about X-Play specifically? Are there any things that people might not know about that show, or any behind the scenes with that?
It was. I mean, a lot of the like people, there was always like these suspicions, like it was some deep dark secret that Sessler and Morgan didn't play games, and that was always like it was true and false. They had games they enjoyed, but it was it wasn't like they were like playing a lot of the new shit. You know what I mean? Like they loved Ratchet and Clank, right? Which is a good game, but It's like if X-Play was running now, anything with like PUBG or Overwatch or something like that, there would probably be producers like Ghost playing, for them, which is kind of where like I was a PA on that show, and I pitched a segment where I was like, we interact with the fans. So this would have been, I don't know, 2007 or 6. But I was like, dude, well, let's get people in, and we'll do. I want to actually do this on my channel now, but where you do like large scale stunts, antics, whatever that you wouldn't normally be able to coordinate.
You just said the magic word, PUBG stunts. I'm sorry, I've already cornered that market, man. You're gonna have to. You're barking up the wrong tree over here with stunts in PUBG.
Okay, I'm going to your channel now.
Anyway, it's not there. It's on our Twitch.
Oh, okay. Anyway, I wanted to
Twitch, the official channel on Twitch.tv is where you can see it. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, we did. Like, I just pitched them that we do this, and that people would love to interact with Sessler and Morgan, and they were like, they'll never go for it. Like, the executive producer was like, they're not gonna want to like sully their hands with the plebs. And I was like, that's a shame. And he's like, why don't you do it? And I'm like, I have never aspired to be on like a quote unquote on camera, like a personality. I moved to LA like pre-X-Play to get into production and work in like film and TV and tell my stories and all that. I just fell through the production, circus. I ended up at X-Play, and then from there, the lean through video game media sort of is where I've ended up. But X-Play is also where they were like, yeah, you just do it, you're funny. And so then I ended up having to be like put on camera as this side host, and I think people at the time kind of resented. They're like, who the fuck is this dipshit? And I'd be like, hey guys, this week on Killzone Fun or whatever.
I put on my American Army helmet.
I did
I did
a couple things though. I did a couple things that were like I'm really proud of. Then there was this thing called the Sarcathlon, where I would make custom Halo maps in Forge, and then I ran actual like challenges, and Bungie was so into it that, do you guys remember like they had flaming helmet recon armor? And it was like the tits, right? And it was Bungie staff only. So the only flaming recon armor, the suit that they put out there that wasn't staff, was like a grand prize in the Sarcathlon. I'm still like psyched on that, but so some random dude out there has like.
Well, they eventually gave it all away to the people who pre-ordered the next game or some shit like that.
Yeah, it was
Don't
an
tell me
unfortunate
that.
That's
cop-out.
entirely devaluing it.
God damn it!
Yeah. They pretty much just
hate
gave it away in the
Australia.
Happy Meals.
Well, never mind.
With
then.
every
me.
purchase of a Vagisil, you get flaming recon armor.
Yeah, cut to like 2 years later.
Just use promo code Mr. Sark at Vagisil.com.
That's right. Is your puss on fire? Why not match it with our new recon helmet?
Oh wait, shit, Jackson, we have a sponsor this week. It's Vagisil.
Yeah, well, that's what we've been doing the entire episode. They got free ads from us.
Free ads.
Yeah. Vagisil, reach out to us. You have to pay for that shit.
We're not pro
We're
bono.
sending the check.
I know you guys like want dirt. I just don't have that. I honestly don't have that much dirt. Like,
There's gonna be something dirty somewhere in your life. Please.
I mean, even then,
We need dirt.
I mean, okay. So this is also a callback. But I did jerk off under my desk at G4 once.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was late. I was working on the Halo 3 launch, which involved me being up, by the way, for a personal record of 80 straight hours.
damn.
And in the middle of it, I was like, could I? I think I could. And then, I was like, it just was a diluted fever crank. Partly
What do you
daring
think
myself,
about
and partly
Yeah,
because I
what-
felt like I might die if I didn't.
Did anyone help?
No.
Oh.
Somebody walked
They got the
by,
whole
but I
team.
had my chair pulled up, and then the power supply and all the cords were hanging like a bead curtain in an old like hippie drugged in. I was back there just beating it under the desk.
Somewhere out there, Kevin
This is
Pereira
your
is
guys'
listening
fault.
to this.
You
And he's
guys,
go-
you started the jerk off like mind train. I can't get off this track right now.
Somewhere out there, there's a G4 intern listening to this, and he goes, "I fucking knew it.
Yeah,
I knew it."
No wonder when I turn the black light on under my desk, it says Sark was here.
You have really good aim.
Yeah, that's precision.
Yeah, he can just draw it with his hands. He can just shoot. Shoot with his fingers.
Like finger painting, like a 4-year-old.
Or you hold up a stencil and you just blast it all in one shot.
The comp stencil. For such an occasion.
Graffiti tagging his work.
Dude, has anybody ever done that? Made black light patterns using like nut stencils?
I
mean, I'm sure I have. I don't have a black light though, so I can't tell.
I just eyeball it.
That's fucking genius.
Well, Charlie, I think it's time for your question.
Oh, I had a question in the beginning. Yeah. I don't remember it now. Are you a fan of sports though?
I remember it.
Do you like the old
Casual.
ball games?